Hi, it's vlog number 3 here. The series of clips you're about to see is actually from the end of May or so, just trying to catch up. Thanks for coming back.
I am so tired. I decided to take the day off of work. I just been really tired and I knew I would be so exhausted after work because I have stuff to do. And I knew I was just going to be running around, and I figured let me just take the day off. I have PTO and catch up a little bit on sleep, and hopefully I can work on some a little bit of side hustle stuff that I'm trying to work on, as I said in my last video. Some creative stuff that hopefully will be my bread and butter one day. But yeah, I just barely got out of bed. I remembered I snoozed a little bit and I started falling back asleep, and I just got right up. A little disappointed because I did want to do a walk, because it's already pretty hot now. I could still go, but we'll see. I might still do it, but I need to grab some milk and a couple other things here, and I will hopefully wake up because I'm not really awake right now. But anyways, I am trying to think forward, because yesterday at work it was busy with customer service calls, but it just made me think even more how much I didn't want to do it. So yep, all right, well, I want this lady to see me talking to myself. Catch you later.
Going for a quick walk after work. I saw a roadrunner. I'm going to see if I can capture it. There it is. I've seen him here before. My other walks in a different area, but not going through the driveway. He doesn't know where to go since I'm standing here. Okay, I'll leave you alone, dude. After my walk, I am going to call about my leave of absence options, and hopefully I'll have a better direction of where I want to go with that. Super hot today. Hey, I am going to slip in a little voiceover here while I am on this walk here in the video. I just wanted to give a little context here. The second video I have up here on my channel, which is vlog 2, Midlife Journey. That was from mid-May. Just a reminder, I had turned 50 that day, and I just wanted to talk about things. At this point, this clip here that you see here on my walk, I mentioned about talking to someone at work about taking a leave of absence, and I had like a new kind of stressor come along between the 10 days period there, and that's what prompted me to think about looking at a leave of absence. And so the next clip that's going to play here shortly, it's really me coming to a realization of what I need to do, and you can even physically see that I'm a bit run down. So it's just amazing how in 2 weeks I can feel fine and thinking everything's great, even talking about how I was getting over the previous burnout I had and feeling fine. But 2 weeks later, you can see I'm, like I said, a bit run down. So I just wanted to give some context. Um, Even though these videos are from months ago, I want to include them in the vlogs I have because it is documenting for me, of course, to look back on and anyone else to see, how am I doing on this new path that I'm going on in life. So, anyways, we'll let it continue.
Hello, another day of vlogging. I'm trying to not be so awkward, but I am trying to do this mainly to help me move along in my goals I have. I'm in the process of trying to figure out how much time I want to take off work. I've already talked with my supervisor about taking a leave of absence due to feeling very exhausted, overwhelmed with stuff that's happened over the last, 3 or 4 months in my personal life. I didn't tell her, but the job is also just getting even more and more unfulfilling, excuse me. In general, the people are okay. Sometimes you get the harder conversations with customers, and I'm pretty good about keeping what they call at work not getting emotionally hijacked, at least in the moment of the call. But inside you can sometimes feel that way, and you have to you just have to know it's not personal. And that's something I can do. But I think what's happening is because it's not fulfilling work, and I'm also in general more of a quiet person, I'm likely an introvert, like I may have mentioned. My social battery, I think is just getting taxed. It's taxing on me to be in a constant, taking calls constantly. And this time of year, at least I think towards the end of summer, before like school and university start up again, it tends to get busier too. But all in all, for the company, I don't see myself wanting to do anything different. It's a financial company. I don't have a passion for finance. I don't mind like giving tips and helping people in that manner, but I don't like being a part of something where people find themselves going upside down or being in debt because they choose to use, say, credit, and maybe they aren't responsible, and then those same people are upset or don't understand how things got out of control. And that's not in my control. I can give them tools and I can help guide them, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to their lifestyle changes and things that they need to do for themselves. So yeah, for me, I think I'm done with this type of work. I've always wanted to do something service oriented. Before I worked for this company, I worked at a school, and I did mention it in my first video. I was a paraprofessional, so I basically assisted within the special education department, and that was really good. That is serving other people, and specifically kids, and being a support. That was always good and fulfilling. It just didn't pay enough. And then going through some life changes at the time, serious life changes. I couldn't just rely on that minimum wage job. So I started looking around, and that's where I ended up with the company I'm at now. They pay better. They have more opportunities to grow within if you wanted to. So during the 5-year period I've been with this company, I have moved in different departments. I've promoted a few times. I've increased my pay over the last 5 years. So to the point where I was able to take that cut in my hours
And while it would have cut into my budget a bit, I knew I could pick up the slack by like door dashing, something like that, because that would give me a mental break from that job. Going from working at a school where you're up and moving every hour and maybe multiple times during an hour, and working with different students, it's not always the same student. So for me, that worked really well. So yeah, I'm just now trying to figure out when I'm going to take a personal leave of absence, because I've decided I am. After talking with my supervisor, I let her know, I've been super tired lately. Like when I sit down after work or I sit down after doing things, I just want to go to sleep. But I keep myself up because I don't want to mess up my sleep for the nighttime. So there's that. And I'm waiting to put in further personal leave because I want to make sure I'm not missing anything medically, just in case. I already do FMLA intermittently for my son, especially when it's during school year and he needs a little more attention, like being picked up or taken to school, or if he's going through some major, like just feeling ill, that I just need the extra breaks from work. Now that he's home from school, he's on summer vacation, I don't need to do that. But if whatever it is that we find out from my blood work, my blood tests come back, depending on what that says, maybe I'd be able to lean into FMLA for my leave of absence. So I'm gonna wait another, I guess, week and a half or so before I actually put in for it, because I'm going to have my follow-up appointment next Friday for the blood work I just did today, and we'll go from there. Like right now, my eyes just feel so heavy. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just trying to figure out how much time to take off. And then when I do take the time off, I want to take the first week to really rest and really try not to have anything that I need to do, like truly relax. And maybe do something therapeutic like the polymer clay. And then also during that week, while I rest, I do want to make sure I am doing the healthy things. So like going out and walking every day. Maybe I'll start a new exercise routine that I know I can keep up with when I'm done with the personal leave of absence. So that's my goal for the first week. And then after that, within the means of my energy and all of that, I will focus on trying to narrow in on one of my projects and not get distracted with the other ones. It'll be nice to do that without worrying about like getting up and spending 7 hours of my day chunked out for work. It's just a little bit less than full time, but it's still a big chunk of hours a day. If I can dedicate that time for getting re-energizing myself and putting some decent time, nice, alert, aware, awakeness time towards a project, one of my projects, that'll be really good. Because as it is now, when I do try to put myself into diving into one of my projects, I'm not fully there like I am doing like I'm doing now, where I'm having to stop and think a little bit before I say my next word. I think that's just part of the fatigue. And so if I no longer have that fatigue, it'll be so much easier. I'll be like, move into one thing to the next and get that momentum moving. And that's what I'm looking for to do. I want to create a kind of life that I can start to really create my abundance in a way that is fulfilling and it takes me a second sometimes to come up with the word of what I'm trying to say. I need to get in the habit of remembering that I have everything that I need and that I want right now as it is. When you're when you're not balanced, it's, I think, easy to get out of that mindset, because there have been times in my life that I've had this great mindset and I've achieved things that I wanted, or simply put, I didn't worry about my future, or I didn't worry about how I was going to get this or that. It would happen, it would come. And I know that's still the case. It's just I need to reevaluate, and I need to, maybe it's just the job. It's draining me. Well, I know it's not something I want to do anymore. So I think knowing I don't want to do it anymore and I have these other ideas, I think that's part of I feel annoyed with that. I don't have the savings that I'd like to have to just say full on quit working and focus on these other things that I know will be something that I can achieve a success and abundance with. Unfortunately, that is creating a state of lack. I'm thinking that way. But I'm also trying to be realistic. This job does give me, I do have good benefits with it. I do have, there's a retirement with it. So the smart thing would be to not completely quit this job. Like, why not work the most minimal hours with them, and so I can keep the benefits. But if it comes down to having to quit the job, I'll quit it, because I want to be a happy person, and I don't need to be a slave to even an idea, like the whole idea of getting my retirement just from that company. I mean, I do have money put away, I just won't get the matching anymore. That's really what is holding me back. So I guess that's a blocker, and I need to work on that. Really, that's all it is. So I need to let go of that whole idea. But my dream is not to live by a certain, someone else's schedule. I want to create my schedule that works for me. And I guess that's what's happening, is this schedule I've been on for years isn't serving me. It's eating away at me. So between the schedule and between the line of work, I need to do something. I need to make a change. And that is why I am doing this vlog, because it's going to help me document like my initial steps going forward and making changes, even though they may be very little changes. I think this helps push me a little bit more than me just saying, okay, I've got this and this and this. And yes, I have like 3 domain names I bought. I have got my DBA. I did that last year. So I have an EIN number. What I don't have done is a complete website for one of the projects I have, for some merchandise that I've designed for. I'm just like kind of doing things sporadically, but now I'm bogged down and I'm overwhelmed with regular life things and the regular job. It's not allowing me to put the energy into the things I want to do. And so, like I said, I'm on the verge of possible burnout. So I need this time off. I need to look out for me. But anyways, I think I've rambled enough. If you are relating to any of this, leave a comment. If this helps motivate other people to try to make some changes, even if they're very little, to achieve their goals, that's awesome. But thank you for tuning in today and listening to me ramble. And maybe the next video will be more interesting. I can only imagine that as I continue to make these videos for myself and for you, that the delivery will be better and better each time. But I hope that you are taking care of yourself, looking out for yourself, and really thinking about your own goals and making some room for that. If you haven't achieved it, just start chipping away at it. You know, we're given this life here, and let's make the best of it. And that's what I'm trying to do now after all these years being on this earth for 50 years. I want the next 50 years to be on my terms. And this is the start of that. Thank you for tuning into my video today. See you later.